it's Mike from Stormbringer magazine, and I'm here with Jacoby Shaddix from PAPA ROACH.
Damn, you're the only person who's ever pronounced my name right.
Wow.
For real, they're like, Jacoby, Jacoby. Thank you very much.
Jacoby?
Yeah, Jacoby,
okay.
That's right.
Like Dr. Jacoby from Twin Peaks?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Just
okay,
like
just tell me, how's the tour so far with you? You're on tour with PAPA ROACH, of course,
Yeah.
Disturbed, Hailstorm, and Buckcherry. And how's the tour so far running for you?
It's going good, man. We've done Scandinavia. We went into Copenhagen. We went to Berlin. Berlin was cool. Copenhagen was the best show so far. And so now we're here in Vienna. And I think it's going to be great tonight. It's sold out. So it's going to be, hopefully tonight is the best show of the tour.
We will hope so.
Yeah.
There is the 6th one, I think, on the tour.
Yeah, so we're just getting into it, but it's going good so far, and we're friends with all the bands, so the camaraderie amongst the bands is cool. We get along really well with all the guys, so it's been fun.
You're on the same label with Buckcherry, I think.
Yep, we're on 11-7 Records, and that is worldwide independent rock label, and we just left the major labels to go independent now, so that's it's a very interesting time for our band, you know, because it's we're on an independent label now, and for us, it's like being at a major label was just towards the end of our career. There, it was just tiring.
You got problems with Jeffen before, I think. That were very hard for you, I think.
It was just towards the end of it. They just weren't really dedicated and focused on PAPA ROACH. And for us, I was like, you know, kind of upsetting. You know, when you're putting your heart and your soul into your music, and then you go out to tour on it, and they're not holding up their end of the bargain. It's like, you know, come on, let's do this. And they weren't. So now we're on a company that totally believes in PAPA ROACH and our vision for what we want to achieve as a rock band. They get it.
And you're a very hard touring band, all the way you came up. And is it hard for you to be away from your families, from home for so a long time?
Yeah, most definitely. It's one of the things that sometimes I despise about being in a rock and roll band. You know, I'm like, fuck, you know, after I've been out on the road for like 10 months, I'm like, all right, enough already. I want to go home, you know, but then it's like, I look at it and rock and roll has just afforded me to be able to go so many great places and meet so many cool people and experience so many new experiences that I wouldn't change it for the world. You know, it just sometimes it gets tough, gets a little lonely, you know, my little dick gets lonely, you know, so.
I think you're happily married and got 2 kids.
Yeah, man,
How do you keep contact with them when you're on tour?
Well, I usually go in America. I bring them on tour with me every couple of weeks. They'll come out with me for a little while. But when I'm in Europe, it's tough. Sometimes I'll bring my wife out here. Last summer, I brought my wife with me for like 3 weeks, and we were just like fucking all over Europe. It was awesome. But, you know, it's tough.
We cut that.
Yeah. Well, you know, it was great. Making love all over Europe. That was
we have younger viewers for Stormbringer.
Oh, yeah. So. Sorry about that. I apologize. Don't have sex. No, I'm just kidding. But, you know, I get on the Skype on the computer and talk at least once a day with my kids and stuff, so that's cool, but, you know, it's nothing like holding them in your arms.
Yeah. And you got with No Matter What and The Enemy, you got very emotional songs on the last record. Was it always that you're writing emotional songs, or it just came up with the time? I
think it's always been emotional for me since the beginning with Last Resort. That song was about my best friend that I was living with tried to kill himself, you know, and being like, I was like 18 years old, and watching your friend try to kill himself is horrible, you know, and so just always expressing my emotion through music, I think it's totally healthy way for me to get through my anger and my pain in my life, you know, because instead of, you know, taking it out on myself, you know, some people are cutters, or some people drink, you know, or do drugs to escape their pain. Like, music is my escape from pain, and it's definitely good for my head, good for my heart, good for my soul. And the more and more that I open up and I am honest about who I am and what I'm going through, the more and more it connects me with other people, because I go out there and I meet people, and people are like, that song is about my life, and I'm like, all right, cool, like we're going through the same shit, you know, so it makes me part of.
It's like a therapy session.
Oh, most definitely. Rock and roll is very cheap therapy. It's free.
But nobody knows that, so
yeah.
Maybe you should say it tonight on the stage.
Yeah, well, this is welcome to my group therapy session. Let's fuck shit up.
Yeah. It's like it is.
Yeah.
With your bass player, Tobin, I
yeah.
think, there is a very complicated friendship between you two.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Without that friendship, there would be no PAPA ROACH today, I think.
Oh yeah, most definitely. I mean, we're like totally opposite people. I'm very outgoing and he's very quiet. You know, he's always in the back lounge writing music, and I'm out, you know, meeting people and, you know, being very social. And so we are like on the opposite ends of the spectrum, but something about the chaos and the friction and the fire of our friendship, as well as, you know, sometimes I want to, you know, it's like we're brothers essentially, you know, and it's definitely, there's a fire between us that when we get creative, there's something really cool that happens. And we both know that. Even sometimes when we're like, at the end we come together and we get creative and it's good, you know. And so, and we respect each other, you know. As we've grown older, you know, we were kids together and we were like, you know, I was like the older brother in a way, you know. And as we grew older and older, I had to like go, all right, he's not my younger brother, he's like, he's his own man, you know, like you got to go do his thing, you know. And so it's definitely an interesting relationship, but a good relationship, you know. And it's just a matter of respect to keep it solid, you know.
But good friends should punch each other's
Fuck
face
yeah, man,
from time
you know?
to time, I think.
Yeah, I think it's healthy to be frustrated and angry with each other at times. If everything was fucking,
Wouldn't be interesting.
yeah,
then.
exactly, man. That's like my love life with my wife, man. It's the same thing, you know. It's like sometimes you're like, oh, I just want to, you know.
Always needs a bit of friction.
Yeah,
between.
you know, it's good. It keeps the fire alive.
Love, Hate, Tragedy, the record originally was called Born to Rock, I
Yeah.
think. And you got the dude the same motto over your chest. Is this your life motto?
Oh yeah, most definitely. My mama said, "Boy, you're born to rock." When she saw me on stage, you know, she was like, "That's it. Like you found your calling." And I didn't realize it, you know. And then like after some years of being out on tour, I'm like, "Man, this is it. Like this is." I was searching for a reason in my life. What is my purpose, you know? And making music and singing and traveling, and that's what it is for me, you know. That's why I'm here, you know. I guess I don't know. I feel like that's a big purpose in my life.
Has to be.
Yeah, it's a driving force behind my creativity and the creativity of the band, and you know, I think the passion of when we get up on stage and rock, like it's alive and it's inside of us.
And any temptations on the way up to the top,
Oh, yeah, of
which
course.
you couldn't withstand?
Women, alcohol, drugs, everything. I got lost in it all for a lot of years, man.
Whole program.
Oh yeah, it was a bad mess, man. You know, and now like me, I'm sober again. I'm like in and out of sobriety, you know, but right now I'm like sober almost 8 months. So it feels good, you know, just a different kind of, I'm really a lot more focused, you know, and when I'm on stage, I'm on fire, so it's good. I don't wake up feeling like, ugh, every day.
Yeah.
It feels good.
It's like you come to terms with your life.
Yeah, exactly. You know, just
The more every day.
yeah, just a little bit more sanity, you know. I mean, that's all I'm looking for is some peace and serenity in my life. But for as chaotic as the war that's inside my head, like it'll always be interesting.
Yeah.
You know.
You once said you thought the enemy that chases you is somebody else, but I think you realized that it's yourself.
Yeah, it's in myself, man. It's like I always looked out at the world as what was wrong with me. It's the world. It's not me. It's everybody around me. And then I realized like I am my own worst enemy, essentially. You know, that's kind of what that song "The Enemy's" about.
Yeah.
And it's like a kind of a hard pill for me to swallow at that point in time in my life where it was like I couldn't point the finger at anybody. It was like it's me, you know. And then I started looking in the mirror and really like looking at myself and going, all right, like it's time to change. And you know, but then I realized it's I deserve to treat myself good. I don't need to treat myself like shit because I did that for a lot of years, you know, with the partying and the drugs and the whole, you know, and it just got to be just this endless cycle of like depression and, you know, just sickness and just self-pity and just, it was bad, you know. And it's like, for me, I'm in a better spot now, you know. Some people can handle it, but I just can't, you know, the party. Oh.
But some people learn
Yeah.
of the shit that happens to them.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I you know, I got the quote on me, what doesn't kill me makes me stronger. You know, I live by that. That's just a big thing in my life, you know, and I wouldn't change anything I've gone through in my life. You know, my family, you know, coming from a broken home and not having a father around, You know, like I wouldn't change that because that's who I am today, and I'm okay. I'm okay with who I'm at, who I am.
Did being a father change this view of things a lot, I think?
Hell yeah, man. I mean, it made me want to like become a respectable man where, you know, my kids could love me and respect me, you know, and count on me. And I think that that's important, you know, and so that's something that in my life, you know, and it's definitely like, it's made me want to educate myself about the world, and it's also made me want to like protect my family, you know, because that's like the most important thing is my family and my music, you know, and so if you fuck with that, like fucking,
that's what a good father does.
Yeah, man. So that's what I'm trying to be, you know, rock daddy, you know.
Yeah, we are right through the text here. Have you some words to say to the Stormbringer viewers out there?
Oh, well, what I would have to say to you guys out there is thank you for tuning in, and thank you for listening to Papa Roach if you do, and if you don't, that's okay, because there's plenty of other great bands out there in the world. And we love you, and be well, treat each other good, and treat yourself good, and rock on, and be well to the world, and the world will be good to you. That's what I'm saying. Stay positive.
Okay, thanks, man.